A beautiful day here in Daytona Beach, Florida, as we get ready for the first race of the season of the NNSCRA Skittles Super Speedway Series Division 1. 30 laps of racing on tap here today. We've already had some racing, if you will, so far, with Division 1 and Division 2 having their qualifying session here, but that was qualifying. This is the race. This is where points are on the line. This is where drivers are going to start to get their season going. And with the format we've got here for our playoff system this year, wins are so important for both divisions because only 8 drivers will represent in the playoffs from Division 1. 8 drivers will represent in the playoffs for Division 2, making up our total of 16 playoff drivers. So it's really, I think, going to come down to you need multiple wins to make sure you're going to be one of those 8 representatives. And here at Daytona, as at any super speedway, it's all about being in the right place at the right time. Right place at the right time to avoid the big wreck. Right place at the right time to make the move to take the checkered flag. We're going to have to see who positions themselves in the right spot here today in this first division race. P Plourd lines up on the pole position. We saw him blow away the competition with an amazing qualifying lap in round 2 of the Division 1 qualifying, and he'll start alongside a fellow Chevy Camaro, R Spurlytube. Then you got a couple more Chevys. Trent Dunham and Shane Lake make up row 2, and completing the top 5 is the 36 of L Lemount. You can look down in the description below to be able to see your full starting lineup for today's event. As you saw the drivers in Division 1 qualifying, they're in today's Division 1 race, and we'll see what we'll see in tomorrow's Division 2 race. But for now, let's go down trackside and get those most famous words.
Drivers, start your engines!
So as the command is given, the pace car will lead the field around this 2.5-mile super speedway for their single lap of pacing. A couple of drivers that had to go to the rear of the field to backup cars after getting involved in wrecks during our qualifying round 1 include Cody Smart, Eli Bright, and JJ Roberts. The one that we're probably going to focus on the most is Cody Smart because he was destined to, well, not destined, but he was in line to move on to the second round of qualifying. He was the fastest in round 1 of qualifying, decided to go out for another run, got caught up in a wreck that took place in the tri-oval, and as consequence, not only didn't move on with a chance to qualify for the pole in round 2, but is starting at the rear of the field today, along with Eli Bright, who also was rather fast in qualifying. I think he was either the 12th or 13th fastest driver after round 1, but he's in a backup car, as is J Jefferson. It'll be interesting to see those drivers near the rear of the field, how long it's going to take for them to be able to get back up here towards the front of the field. Daytona, much like any super speedway, it's very easy if you're on that inside line and you have people willing to push you to move your way from the back to the front. The only difference between Daytona and a number of the other tracks we're going to here this season is it's more a double wide track than anything. They can go 3 wide. It has been able to hold 3 wide, but Daytona, from my personal experience as well, knowing this, it's not the roomiest super speedway out there in terms of getting a third line put together. And we're going to go to tracks where we're going to see them 4, 5, maybe even 6 wide. So it's going to be a little bit tamer of a race here than what we've got coming up in the remainder of the schedule, but nonetheless sure to be a wild race nonetheless. And also, we did see a number of wrecks take place, both in Division 1 and Division 2 of qualifying. A lot of those wrecks were 3-wide situations heading into the entrance of Turn 3, so we're going to have to see if that'll be the trouble spot here, with them all lined up double file for the green flag. But P Plourd and R Spurlytube will bring us down, and for the first time this season, we're racing at Daytona in the Skittles Super Speedway Series. Let's roll! Already you see him 3 wide for 3rd place. L Lemount putting Trent Dunham in the middle. Shane Lake way up top side, as you saw P Plourd take the middle groove in the entrance to turn 1, making sure that no line got a run on him into the corner, and they're more lined up on that outside line than they are on the inside line. We may go 3 wide for the lead. L Lemount, he wants the top position. And he's gonna get to the inside of R Spurlytube. Spurlytube cleared P Plourd. He tried to move low to block the inside line, nothing doing. Here comes the 36 trying to lead the first lap of the season. Looks like he's going to do it with a little help from the Toyota of M Haas. Look at him 3 wide, several rows deep already. Everybody vying for position early on in this 30-lap event. Not 100% certain what the fuel window is for these drivers, so I don't know if they can make it the full scheduled distance without having to come to pit road, or if green flag pit stop strategy may come into play. Of course, if we have the big one, it may be a moot point. Is Matt Haas to the point? Jack Mitchell trying to get to the inside. I think he's to the left rear quarter panel, and indeed he is. I wasn't sure if he was, but Matt Haas' spotter apparently told him he was. As you saw, Matt Haas did not try to come down and block him, otherwise he'd have gone off the nose of the NBC Sports Chevy Camaro, and Mitchell will lead that lap. Now, this season, in terms of how many points you get a point for leading a lap, you get a point for leading the most laps, as there was almost some contact back there between L Lemount and R Spurlytube. That was right near the front of the field, and that could have been disastrous. Johnny Gardner down almost to the apron. Brings it back up on track. Boy, they're racing crazy right now early on in this thing. But then also the winner gets, I believe it's 47 points, and then it goes from 42 points on down for the remainder of the field. And they are 4 wide back there. That is D Hamill, Johnny Gardner. There's contact, and the 32 is going to get sent to the infield. And he's going to come back up into traffic. No, he's not. That's Gardner into the wall. They save it. Nope, there goes a car around. That's Zachary Taylor. Qualls is around. Jose Millz is around. Zoerlein is spinning, and we've got a caution. We got a big wreck here. Carter Friesen got a piece of it. J Jefferson's in it. Austin LaPlante, Cody Smart, and it looks like Zoerlein's going to get spun again by Taylor. Where's the 32? Oh, the 32? 32, I can't tell where that's even at. Oh, that's the that's the guardrail down near the exit of pit road. D Hamill. Looks like he's going to continue on, but we're under caution. Got cars on pit road. Joshua Lee, J Jefferson as they raced back to the start-finish line. It was Ashlyn Boyd leading. Look at the Toyotas there, 1, 2, 3. Boyd, Haas, and Burkhart. That was a lot of stuff to take in right there. A lot of chaos going on here. There's Zoerlein. We just saw Hamill, Gardner, the hood all crunched up on his Pepsi Crystal Chevrolet. There's J Jefferson. There's Cody Smart, who had to start the rear of the field in the backup car. He's got damage. There's Taylor. LaPlante. Kyle Mathews has got damage. He was in it. Jose Millz just ahead of him. That's Eli Bright in the 12. Patrick Zych might have some damage. I can't really tell. Maybe a little damage on the front. There's James Qualls. We know he got a piece of it. A lot of damage on the For Travel Motor Coach Chevrolet. And it looks like everybody else on up may have gotten through it. There were a couple of cars that were up near the front after contact with Johnny Gardner that got up into the fence. So a couple of these cars up here, we can't see it, but they might have right side damage. And this is also going to tell us if we would have had green flag pit stops or not. Let's see if they're going to come to pit road here under yellow. And a few of them are going to duck to pit road, including the leader, Ashlyn Boyd. Looks like Brady Burkhart, Jack Mitchell, Joshua Ciculli, they're going to come to pit road. But Matt Haas is going to stay out. So interesting strategy being played out here. Let's take a look and see what happened. First, the incident off turn 4, and then an incident just after the start-finish line in the tri-oval. Puts us under the caution for the first time here today at Daytona. Well, a lot of this is due in part to what we saw over out of turn 2, where Johnny Gardner was down almost on the apron. When he came back up, they were 3 wide above him. Makes it 4 wide through 3 and 4, and I'm amazed they actually didn't wreck any sooner than they did here. There you see Gardner still trying to force his way up, and instead he forces his way into D Hamill's left rear quarter panel. Hamill down through the grass. I thought he was going to come back up into traffic, but then right here he hits kind of a glitch area on the pit lane. And you're going to see he's going to start doing a little bit of a moonwalk here over towards the wall, where I guess we could call it the Kyle Busch wall. There you see drivers getting involved there. Looks like Benjamin Miles got a piece of that wreck. Looks like he got into Cody Smart. You saw Carter Friesen there. You also saw J Jefferson and J Shelton trying to make their way through. But there you see, there's what happens with Hamill. Now, I think he gets a little bit of rear end damage when the car backs into the steel guardrail. For the most part, I think he got away relatively unscathed. Question is, though, are they going to keep him trapped a lap down since he was behind the pace car when the pace car came off of pit road? I don't know. But that's what happened to Derek Hamill. Now let's see what happened to actually bring the caution out. I think it started with the 7 of Johnny Gardner. And this was after the contact with Derek Hamill. You see he was trying to come back up on the track again. He's going to get James Qualls. He's going to get, I think that was LaPlante, William Duncan, Zachary Taylor, and then you just see them all just trying to fan out and avoid. Qualls gets into Jake Rogers. He gets hit from behind by Jose Millz. Watch the right side of your screen there. There's where Carter Friesen. Oh, he's the one that nailed Cody Smart. There's Eli Bright, a lot of damage. There's Zoerlein. There's Mathews. I think there was another wreck further up, too, because I saw a couple of cars get through that didn't get damage in here that were on pit road with damage, including Joshua Lee and JJ Roberts. As there you see Zachary Taylor's going to get into the back of Zoerlein again. So let's see what happens further up. So Roberts, you can see here, it avoided the wreck, and he tries coming back up the track, and it's right in front of Tristan Fowlkes. Fowlkes going to hook him up into the wall, and the 81 actually gets some air and is actually going to flip over. Well, almost. On his side. Comes back down the track, and there's going to be nowhere to go for Joshua Lee. There's the shot for him. And I believe Carter Friesen's going to get involved in this too. There he is on the apron trying to stay out of everybody's way. He'd already gotten contact from hitting the 94 of Cody Smart, and he gets involved in this one as well. A lot of damage on the 75. And there you see Joshua Lee sitting idle as well. So some pretty big hits. A wreck that basically started from turn 4, made its way all the way over to the middle of turns 1 and 2. Puts under the caution for the first time here today at Daytona. Let's go back for the restart. We've gotten the signal 1 lap to green. Matt Haas deciding to stay out. I don't know why the thing keeps popping up. There we go. So Matt Haas stayed out. He'll restart the leader. Laurent Lemount in second. Spurlytube third. Seth Coles fourth. Andrew Miller fifth. So a couple of teammates there in the top 5. The rest of the top 10 for the restart are going to be Roger Ray, Jessica Shelton, Philip Goldberg. Zachary Taylor is up here in 9th, and we know he got a bit of that wreck. And then the first car that came to pit road, Ashlyn Boyd's going to restart in the top 10. So it looks like 9 cars stayed out. But a number of drivers had to make that hard left-hand turn to the garage area when they came down pit road. We've got, I believe, a total of 8 drivers at this point that are out, including Jack Mitchell, Jose Millz, Johnny Gardner, Eli Bright, Joshua Lee, J.J. Roberts, Carter Friesen, and Jonathan Zoerlein. I'm a little perplexed as to why Jack Mitchell's out of the race. I don't think he got involved in the wreck. Maybe he did and I didn't see it. 1 lap down is going to be the 25 of Benjamin Miles. So I don't know if he's going to be coming up here on the inside line with these lead lap cars or not. I don't know if he's still on the track or not. We'll find out in a moment. We've got 32 cars according to the tickers that are running. 31 of them on the lead lap, and there is Miles. He just left pit road, so he's a lap down, but he's not going to catch up to the pacing line when we go back green. We'll be going back green with 28 laps remaining in the race. Green flag's back in the air, and I'm a little interested about what's going to happen here with these 9 drivers that decided to stay out, just in case we do not have another caution. If they can't make it on fuel, all those drivers from 10th on back, Ashlyn Boyd and Brady Burkhart, they all have been to pit road and topped off the fuel tank. They can make it a little bit further, and this race could play into their hands. That is if we stay green. They're already forcing the issue 3 wide. That is for around the 3rd position. Settle it back out to double wide. Now you're starting to see the field split up. I think that's in part to some damaged cars being up towards the front of the field or in the middle of the pack, holding up some drivers that may be up to full speed. Laurent Lemount going to lead yet another lap. And the car I'm looking for here, I believe the first car that came to pit road that's running the highest on the grid right now would be, I believe, Brady Burkhart, who is up in the 9th position. That Baja Blast teal blue car back there, that Toyota Camry. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Riley Spurlytube, Matt Haas, and Laurent Lemount. Seth Cole got a big run there in that 33. He's got Brady Burkhart behind him as you've got about maybe 12, 13 cars up in this lead pack. A couple of drivers up here we haven't talked about. The 42 of Sebastian Cucalon, the 02 of Jessica Shelton. And Spurlytube with a lap lead goes down, blocks the run Seth Cole had. See if Cole steps out of line. Nope, instead, that's going to be Burkhart making the move down low. Trent Dunham right there with him. We documented back in qualifying how there's a love-hate relationship between Trent Dunham and Daytona, especially the opening Daytona race in most series, whether it be the Daytona 500 or a race of another name. And right now, Dunham looking good. And I believe he also is one of those drivers that came to pit road. So right now, he and Brady Burkhart looking good. Right behind him, the 16 of Vance Caldwell, who had a great qualifying result of 6th place on the starting grid. He's now up in 4th. And we're going to drop back here because we've got this lead group flanked by Andrew Miller. Miller crossed the line in 14th last time by. Then you've got Preston Plourd, the pole sitter, back here in 15th. Along with Diego Yepez, Jake Rogers, and there is Derek Hamill, who's been able to fight his way back up to 18th after we saw him get spun by J Gardner off of turn 4. JT Bryant 19th, William Duncan in 20th. All these drivers I think got held up behind slower traffic. You see some drivers we know got some damage from the wreck. Zachary Taylor and James Qualls. They're right now trying to fight into the top 20. Zach Winkle right there as well. Move back up towards the front of the field. Not much happening, but with the slower damaged machines, if this thing does go into a long green flag run, we're going to have to start looking towards the possibility of these leaders catching up to slower traffic. First car they would catch would be the lap machine of Benjamin Miles, who is just now exiting turn 2. The field is about to hit the start-finish line, so about maybe a third of the racetrack before Spurlytube catches the other Hertz car on track. The 25 and the 38, both sponsored by Hertz, both running alternate schemes to each other, so we're able to know one from the other. Spurlytube with the black hood and Miles with the yellow hood. Whoa! We had a car go down the apron, and it's still down there. Who is that? That's R Rey. And do we have a car just spin out? Or is that just smoke I'm seeing? Oh, where's the 68? He came up and got the 18! Right in front of the field it's going to be, and Miller got involved. Everyone's going to settle down to the bottom of the track. I think everyone else is going to avoid, but a 3-car pile up there in turn 3. And the caution is out for the second time here today. I believe the leaders have already taken the caution. They have. Just around the midway point of this race as well. And we didn't really get to see what happened there, but it looked like Miller may have hooked the 68 of Rey. Rey was down in the grass, never lifted, came right up into Goldberg. And I'm actually quite amazed that we only had 3 cars involved in that wreck, because Daytona, with the banking it's got, it's a self-cleaning track. What's up is going to slide down. And with oncoming traffic, with the field spread out, I thought we were going to have a number of plows, and amazingly, it was only 3 cars involved. Well, this is also a big break for those drivers who did not come to pit road under the first caution. I believe with the appearance of this yellow at the midway point, everybody, if they come to pit road, are all going to be good to go on fuel the rest of the way. It's also a big break for drivers like Preston Plourd and Derek Hamill, who were back there trying to catch up to the lead pack. Now they're going to be all lined back up here for this restart. But for now, let's go and take a look at a replay. What brought out the caution? Incident on the back straightaway that led to the wreck over in turn number 3. And we actually had 2 wrecks, so we're going to have to look at both of them. This is what actually happened off the corner. It looks like that was Jessica Shelton getting into left rear quarter panel of R Rey. Sent him down into Andrew Miller and Seth Cole. Seth Cole's going to go for a spin here. Now, we're going to follow the 33 first, because this actually, I believe, was what brought out the caution. I think this happened before the incident over in turn 3. Seth Cole gets the car righted. He's going to bring it back up on track. Now look behind him as they're 3 wide there. Ryan Butcher, James Qualls, and Zach Winkle. Seth Cole's going to bring it up on track, thinks he's fine, but there's nowhere for that inside line to go. Zachary Taylor runs straight into the back of him. Ryan Butcher into the back of Taylor, and Patrick Zych up there into the wall as well, gets squeezed up there by the 76. So that is what actually brought out the caution. Seth Cole merging back on the track in front of Taylor and Butcher. Now let's see what happens with R Rey and Philip Goldberg. There's another look at it, too. You can see Shelton all over the left rear quarter panel of R Rey. Hooks the 68 down to the 33. Now we saw that Seth Cole was spun out. We saw what happened with him. R Rey keeps his foot in the throttle. He's still going 199 miles per hour. So that car carrying a tremendous amount of speed. There's just no way that at that fast of a speed and the angle that he's entering into turn 3 that car is going to be able to make the corner. But he's hoping and praying he can save it, and just look how it goes straight. As soon as it hits the racing surface, it goes straight and straight up into Philip Goldberg, and nowhere for Andrew Miller to go as he runs into the back of the 68. And this is where I thought we were going to have drivers get involved. I mean, there you see right there's Rogers and Plourd and Yepez, Hamill all coming into the picture, and I thought they were going to hit one of these 3 drivers, but fortunately all those 3 drivers' cars slid down to the apron before the oncoming traffic got there. But tough break for a number of drivers there. I mean, Seth Cole was running up there in that lead group, so too was Rey, so too was Miller, and so too was Goldberg. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, an incident from the back straightaway over to turn 3 is going to possibly take them out of this race. With 12 laps to go, we will get the green flag to finish out this race. Laurent Lemount's team getting it done on pit road as he was able to beat Riley Spurlytube off the pit lane and will restart the leader. Spurlytube will restart second, with Brady Burkhart third, Trent Dunham fourth, Shane Lake in fifth. Then it's Jessica Shelton, Sebastian Cucalon, Ashland Boyd, Vance Caldwell, and Matt Haas. That is going to be your top 10. You see that with more than 10 laps to go, Benjamin Miles will line up on the inside line. He's still a lap down, but fortunately for him, even though he is trapped off the lead lap, he has been able to pick up some positions on track with the recent drivers that have retired out of this race. So Miles is now up to 26th as Ryan Butcher, Kyle Mathews, also Zachary Taylor, R Rey, Andrew Miller, Patrick Zych have all called it a day and have retired from this race. So a couple of drivers, it's a mystery of why they're out of the race. Kyle Mathews out after this caution, Jack Mitchell after the last caution, not really sure why that is. But nonetheless, that is the case. As 26 cars running, 25 on the lead lap, and we're setting out for what could be a 12-lap shootout. We've already worked 2 cautions in the first 15 laps of this race. Question is, have we seen our last caution of the day, or will we see them possibly have at least one more yellow before this race is over? Pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. We're ready to go back racing here at Daytona, and Lemount gets a great restart. Spurlytube looked like he spun his tires because Brady Burkhart and Trent Dunham both jumped right up to the outside line. Now Lemount's going to have a lap machine between himself and second place. It's going to allow him to distance himself just a little bit over the rest of the field, which at a super speedway is not a good thing. You give that nice window of space from one car to another, that car behind you is going to get a huge run. Speaking of a huge run, how about Shane Lake? He's got a big run on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got another Chevy behind him in Sebastian Cucalon. Then the Ford of Vance Caldwell. Good run for that 55 car. He's been up there towards the top 10 most of the day, and we got a trouble! Oh, and there they go. Yep, I thought they were going to save it, but Matt Haas gets turned around. Caution flies again, and we got a wreck in the tri-oval, and they're still wrecking back there. I saw Shelton get forced below the apron. Spurlytube was in the wall. He tried to save it, came down into Matt Haas, and we've got another big wreck. Matt Haas is now on pit road. JT Bryant's involved. Zach Winkle's in it. J Jefferson, second wreck he's been involved in today. I don't know if Seth Cole was in it or not. Looks like front end damage on Joshua Ciculli. A lot of these drivers back here have been involved in a wreck already today, so not really sure if they've got damage from this one or not. Ooh, slow up back there, LaPlante, and he does. Seth Cole got into the back of Ciculli, though. I'm almost wondering if those two drivers that were kind of those mystery drivers of why they're out of the race, Jack Mitchell and K Mathews. If maybe there was a stack up on the back straightaway under pacing and they may have gotten damaged that way, I don't know. But Laurent Lemount going to lead us under our third caution of the day. We'll be restarting with less than 10 to go when we come back from a replay of what happened out of turn number 4. Well, let's see. Benjamin Miles up there on the outside line. R Spurlytube and J Shelton trapped behind, and I think they just wanted to get down to the low line. And there you see Spurlytube gets into Miles' left rear quarter panel, sends him down to Shelton. Shelton with a great save. Spurlytube gets the wall, cannot keep it straight. He's going to get M Haas there as well as J Bryant. Haas right in front of D Yepez, who I think managed to avoid. Might have gotten a little contact. Oh, and then M Haas got clobbered by Z Winkle and by J Jefferson. Jefferson nailed the 28 nailed the 8 car while he was upside down. Look at Seth Cole split the middle as he was able to avoid. But wow, what a wicked impact for the 8 car. Let's take another camera angle of that. Wreck has already happened, as you can see, and just watch the impact here for M Haas, and this is driver's side. Oh my goodness. And then watch as the car is upside down, if you can even see through the smoke. Right there, right underneath the rear deck lid is where J Jefferson gets him. That is a wild, wild ride and a hard impact for M Haas. And Haas had such a good day going as well. That car had led a lap. He'd been up in the top 10 for most of the day. And now he's going to find his day ending on the end of a tow hook, as will probably Jefferson and Z Winkle. Maybe J Bryant. We'll have to wait and see. Another caution, another restart, and more drivers in the garage area. This time including J Bryant, J Jefferson, M Haas, and Z Winkle, basically the 4 that took the biggest impacts in that wreck. So Benjamin Miles up to 22nd, even though he's still trapped a lap down. 21 cars on the lead lap remain. R Spurlytube had to come to pit road, so he'll restart back in 21st after we saw him pancake the wall. Let's give you as full a rundown of the field as we can. You've got Laurent Lemount in the lead, Shane Lake in second, Sebastian Cucalon's up to third. 4th place is going to be Brady Burkhart. 5th place, V Caldwell. Rest of the top 10 are Trent Dunham, Ashlyn Boyd, Derek Hamill, Preston Plourd, and Philip Goldberg. Then your top 20, Jessica Shelton 11th, William Duncan 12th, Jake Rogers 13th, 14th, Cody Smart, 15th is Diego Yepez, James Qualls still hanging in there in 16th, Tristan Folks in 17th, Austin LaPlante in 18th, Joshua Ciculli 19th, Seth Cole in 20th, 21st is R Spurlytube, and 1 lap down in 22nd is Benjamin Miles, who is actually going to restart, I believe, 6th in this line. No, 8th in this line, I'm sorry, as the lead lap cars and lap cars line up single file here. Green flag back in the air. 7 laps to go here at Daytona. 3 cautions already today. Can we finish out the last 7 laps of this race under green? They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Cucalon to the bottom. Lake in the middle, and Lake's going to have the drafting help. Brady Burkhart sticking with him there in the middle. Cucalon's got Dunham coming with him, but now Brady Burkhart switches lanes. He's going to go down low, and he's going to get the run with help from Trent Dunham. Lake moves from the middle to the high line. Cucalon from the low to the middle line, and Burkhart's going to go to the lead. He's going to bring Trent Dunham's Chevy, V Caldwell's Ford, and Ashlyn Boyd's Toyota with him. Look at them split up back there as they're all trying to get around the slower machine of Benjamin Miles. Preston Plourd's been able to clear. He's now up to the 8th position, I believe. But 9th on back, still trying to get around that wounded 25. If they manage to do so, question is, will they have enough time to get up here with this lead group, which right now is assembled with 7 cars, maybe 8 if Preston can catch them. Trent Dunham seems very committed to pushing that 00 right now. V Caldwell trying to get a run. Trent Dunham's going to block him, and he's going to go for the lead as well. Very smart on the part of Trent Dunham. He saw the 16 had a big run. He used that push, if you will, the bubble of aerodynamics that's used here at these super speedways to help propel him to the lead. I don't think V Caldwell wanted to push Trent to the lead, but Trent kind of forced his hand since Caldwell was already committed to the bottom. Here comes Laurent Lemount. He spent probably the most time out in front here today, albeit with the help of a few caution flags. Whoa, the 00 looked loose off the corner, nearly lost it. Nice save. And Lemount's going to go to the inside. He'll get some help from Shane Lake and Sebastian Cucalon. A lot of Chevys up here towards the front. A couple of Toyotas, one Ford. Preston Plourd still kind of hanging back there, trying to catch up to this lead group of 7. As Lemount's going to lead it again, and we've got 4 laps to go. Meanwhile, as this group up here is racing, you've got a second group back here behind Preston Plourd. Jake Rogers, Jessica Shelton, Diego Yepez, and Philip Goldberg. They're all kind of racing amongst themselves from 9th place on back. That's not going to help them in their quest to catch this lead group, and I think Preston Plourd has caught the wake of this lead pack. I think he might be up here to battle with these drivers momentarily as Shane Lake goes for the lead. Preston Plourd started on the pole, would love to be able to end the day finishing where he started, P1. As Shane Lake is going to, I believe, lead his first lap of the day. And it's going to be with 3 laps to go here at Daytona. So looking there in your screen right there, maybe include Preston Plourd. You're looking at the drivers that are probably going to settle it out for this win, unless something catastrophic happens here at the front. Brady Burkhart now to the bottom again. He's got help from V Caldwell, and you've got Fords working with Chevys. You've got Toyotas working with Fords. Your friends are where you find them, and I don't see anybody up here that's got a teammate to be able to work with. So it's basically these drivers all trying to work out negotiations and alliances here in the final stages of this race, as Brady Burkhart now out in front, double wide behind him for second, 3 wide behind him for the 4th position. That now settles back out to double wide as Caldwell side by side with Lake for second. Brady Burkhart with a Dale Jr.-like paint scheme trying to channel his inner Dale Jr. and control both lanes with 2 laps to go. Vance Caldwell's got help on the bottom with Trent Dunham. We'll see if those two can get enough of a run. Top 3, Toyota, Ford, Chevy. Great representation by all 3 manufacturers up here at the front of the field. I think we only had 1 Dodge in this field, that being Eli Bright, and he made an early departure from this race. Caldwell couldn't get a run, but he's going to slot still in second with Trent Dunham third. Sebastian Cucalon now trying to move up to 4th. As the white flag will be displayed this time. Who's going to make the move here on the final lap? It's Burkhart, Caldwell, Dunham the top 3 as the white flag is displayed. Trent Dunham's going to make the move. This is for second on Vance Caldwell, but he doesn't really have any help. Shane Lake's trying to get down there. Looks like he will, along with Sebastian Cucalon. Now the question is, can Trent Dunham get up to the back bumper of the 00 of Brady Burkhart? Shane Lake staying down there. He's offering the opportunity for Trent if Trent wants to go down there and get a push into turn 3. Trent's going to go down there, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Will he be able to make the move out of turn number 4? If he does, will Shane Lake go with him? Brady Burkhart trying to block Trent Dunham. Here they come out of turn number 4. Trent can't get to the inside. Brady Burkhart's going to start out the season with his first career win in the Skittles Super Speedway Series in Division 1 here at Daytona. Brady Burkhart, after getting to the front, did a great job of controlling every line, blocking the momentum, making sure nobody got a run on him. Had to hold off a couple of the best in the business, and Trent Dunham and Shane Lake was successful in doing so. And with the limited number, 8 spots available in the playoffs here in Division 1, we got to ask the question, did this win just clinch Brady Burkhart a spot in this season's chase for the championship? Only time will tell. Still 14 more races for these drivers to go before we're going to determine the 8 representatives for this first division of who's going to be battling for the championship. But at least this is a step in the right direction for the driver of the 00 Toyota. Brady Burkhart takes the checkered flag. He's going to beat Trent Dunham, who'll have to settle for second. Shane Lake brings it home third. Vance Caldwell fourth. Sebastian Cucalon in fifth. Then it was Laurent Lemount 6th, Ashlyn Boyd 7th. Preston Plourd, the pole sitter, brings it home 8th with Jessica Shelton 9th and Diego Yepez rounding out the top 10. Jake Rogers in 11th, Philip Goldberg in 12th, William Duncan 13th, 14th for Joshua Ciculli, and a backup car, Cody Smart, comes from the rear of the field, starting position of 38th to finish in 15th. James Qualls He was involved in the first wreck of the day. He'll get 16th. Tristan Fowlkes in 17th. 18th for Derek Hamill, 19th Austin LaPlante, and R Spurlytube, who spent a good portion of this race out in front before getting involved in that third and final caution. He'll finish 20th with Seth Cole, the last car on the lead lap, in 21st. Benjamin Miles, the last car to finish, one lap down, in 22nd. And you look on down through the rest of the finishing results of the drivers who did not make it to the completion of this race, getting involved in one of 3 cautions that we had during the course of today's race. But that is going to do it here for the Division 1 race from Daytona. Brady Burkhart takes the checkered flag in what is his debut race here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full picture results. Now we're going to show you your point standings for Division 1. And as you can see right now, the 00 of Brady Burkhart highlighted in yellow right now would hold one of the 8 playoff positions in Division 1 currently. We got to finish out our Daytona race weekend, though, as we'll have Division 2. They'll be taking their first green flag of the season here tomorrow before we pack it all up and head to our second venue of the season. Till then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching Production NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. So long from Daytona.